Welcome back to the sports page. I'm Mike Edwards, along with the rest of our broadcast crew. I mentioned earlier on the show that this is award Saturday on the sports page, and Mackenzie Puckett will be receiving the Blackwood Insurance Female Athlete of the Year at the noon luncheon. Mackenzie was a standout basketball player at Maryville College last year, and what a year she had for the Lady Scots. We've got Darrin Travillian here for coach. We're going to talk with him in just a second. But Eric Etchison is also here, Assistant Athletic Director. Eric, talk a little bit about what Mackenzie did last year. It was phenomenal.
Well, I'm blessed that I get a chance to write about these fantastic student athletes and give me great things to write about. Not just on the court. Mackenzie put up some great statistical numbers that Darrin's going to talk about, but she had a chance as a leader to step up after an injury and sort of dedicate the rest of the season to the team. And she stepped up and did some unbelievable things. And that's the type of stories we're looking for and the type of leaders we're looking for at Maryville College.
Darrin, your comments on this fine player. She's coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back for 2 more years, which is even better. I would say this: when you're recruiting, sometimes you hope to hit it big, sometimes you're going to miss, but sometimes you know. And from the moment I saw her play, I knew she was a special player. And I think that her accolades certainly have validated my suspicion there. But more important, what we learned this year is what an extraordinary person she is as well. You're always trying to recruit great kids, great athletes, and that kind of thing. But as Edge talked about, when she was faced with that injury, there was about 5 minutes of, and then after that it was, okay, now I got to get back. And how do I get back on the floor for this team, and what do I do? And so the numbers are phenomenal. The All-American accolades, the player of the year, those things are all amazing. But watching her get after it and say, no, I'm going to get back. When there were days where I would look down on one end of the floor and I'd see her with that knee brace and I'd see her the anguish on her face, and I would go, I don't know if I can play this kid. And then I'd look back and go, how can I not play this kid? And so what she did for us, besides the numbers speak for themselves, but what she did in terms of coming back to lead us to where we went, it just humbled me.
Mackenzie, congratulations on your accomplishments on the year.
Thank you.
What would you say were the keys to your success as a player?
There was just a lot of learning, I think, this year. There was a lot of things that I didn't expect to have, obviously, an injury like this, but just learning how to deal with controversy or conflict and how to still succeed through that and still, succeed through my injury and through other things that our team faced that were just not really expected. We had some weird moments where it just felt like this team could have a chance to not succeed as much or push through, and we definitely learned to push through. And I think that was a lot of the reason for our success.
And so, really, you were kind of putting the team first. I'm sure that helped dedicate you to work hard and to play hard and try to make the year fit, even with your injury, because you wanted the team to do well, and you certainly did that. How was your reading?
It's good. Slowly but surely getting better. I ran for the first time yesterday, so that was exciting. And I'm just trying to take those little moments and get excited about those. So
has it been tough? Let me ask you this question. Has it been tougher rehabbing than it was playing the last part of the year?
Absolutely. Yes, because when I was playing, even though it hurt, I was still being able to run and jump and shoot, and now I can't, so now it's a matter of, I ran for the first time in at least 8 weeks yesterday, and before a surgery, I didn't run at all, I could run no matter what, so.
Coach, at this stage in her career, you've had some outstanding players there at the college. How does Mackenzie stack that to some of the other?
She's the best. One thing I will also say, she's sort of the master of the understatement here. She's significantly ahead of the curve in terms of ACL rehab, which is not surprising if she saw her play on a torn ACL. But yesterday she ran nearly a mile, okay, and she ran it at about an 8-minute clip, okay. But what's amazing is she's at a pace right now, and we don't need her to do this. But if we were going to open the season September 1, she'd be able to play. You wrap your head around that for a second, and that's like NBA lottery sort of rehab, okay? So like when I say she's a master of the understatement, that's really true. Now, to answer your question about where does she stack up, 2 years into it, she's blown away the numbers that other people have put up and all of that. I mean, phenomenal in terms of scoring, field goal percentage, conference player of the year, those things, way off the charts. But the other thing is the potential and the ceiling is so high that, if you kind of project a little bit, her name is going to be all over the record books, and we saw what kind of leader she was. She was just recently named as a captain for the team for next year. So, there's a lot on her plate, but there's no doubt in my mind she's going to be able to fulfill all that and do amazing things.
It's a big play.
It is a big plate. It is a big plate. And it always gets bigger. It always gets bigger.
You touched on several characteristics of her. What do you think is the greatest?
Wow.
If you could pinpoint one thing, describe her, maybe one or two words.
Yeah, if we could turn her headset off, because I don't want her to hear all of it, right? No, I would say her absolute competitive drive, and then the humility on the flip side of it. So as great as she wants to be, she's also very quick to be very humble about it, and kind of that all shucks kind of, well, if you think so sort of attitude. But when you throw a ball up and two people have to go battle, she's not all shucks about that. I mean, she's going to get after it, and she's competitive in her rehab. I mean, there's a reason she's so far ahead of the game right now, is because she's getting after it as if she were getting ready to play for a conference championship.
Now, Mackenzie, we know the big focus is on the defense, trying to get in there. But if you didn't have the defense, what would be your focus on the game to get yourself better?
I really need to get stronger. That has been told all my life, and I'm still working on that. And I think I'm kind of working on my outside game, maybe a little better three-point shooter, so that I have that opportunity to go off the drive and off the bounce, which is what I prefer, to give me more room to do that. So get stronger and, work on the outside game.
And everybody's going to be ready for you next year.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be setting their defenses up and so forth. Coach, with her injury, that being understood, will she be utilized in the same manner? Will you expect more out of her when she comes back? Or is there going to be any changes at all?
I don't know about changes. I mean, systematically, we do things sort of the way we like to do them, and she's a focal point of that. But at the same time, I think we're going to have pieces around where maybe she doesn't have to do as much in terms of creating a shot for herself. But I don't see anything any different. I mean, the one thing we've talked about from right after the game when she had her injury was you're going to come back better. You're going to come back better. And so if that means she can do a little more or do it a little differently or whatever the case may be, that's where the bar is set. The bar is not set on, well, let's get back to where you were. We're setting the bar at, you're going to be better than where you were.
Coach, thanks for coming in. And
Absolutely.
Mackenzie, congratulations on your award, and we'll look forward to seeing both of you at the luncheon today.
All right.
Mackenzie, where is your hometown?
I'm from Franklin, Tennessee.
Franklin, and you're Franklin High?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Great honor.
Hey, that's Mackenzie Puckett and Coach Darrin Travillian of the Maryville College Lady Scots basketball program. We'll take a timeout, and when we return, Mike Rader, head football coach at Maryville College, will be here with Travis Felder.